welcome to another Fast Track webinar. Today's webinar, we're going to be going over Misspick in the warehouse. It's a new module that's being added, so it will be available soon. So, as a reminder, webinars are events that are held on Fridays, 9 a.m. Central and Eastern. To get to the webinars, we can go to the website at goftx.com. Go to the FTx Lifeline link. And we'll scroll about halfway down the page. Webinar. On the webinar page here, we can subscribe, get notified of upcoming webinars and other Fast Track news. We're able to register for upcoming webinars, and we can also look at previous webinars. So to get started today, we're doing Misspick with Warehouse. Again, this is a new module that is just being added. It should be in an upcoming release. Once we log into Warehouse, under the dashboard module, we also have a Misspick tab now. This is where the Mispicks will show up. So the way that Mispicks work is you have to have director integration enabled, which we went over that in a previous webinar. That's done through maintenance, settings, and when we go to other, you can enable director integration. So the way the Misspicks is going to work is in retail, you generate an order and you send it to the warehouse. The warehouse is going to pick it. You're going to invoice that order and send it back to retail. At which point, retail will receive the invoice. Then for the Misspick part, in order to make sure that it works, you have to do receiving verify, which is done through the Android handheld. And if there's a discrepancy between what was received and what was verified, that is a Misspick. That will be sent back up to warehouse where an invoice adjustment can be made. So as we can see right now, I have no Misspick going in. So I have already went ahead and done an order today from the warehouse. I've already applied it, as you can see. I've got these 3 items on it. So what we'll do is we're going to, since I've already received it, I'm going to go into the handheld, and from there we're going to verify the order. So the way that works is we'll go into the handheld, and we have receiving verify. So at the top, I select my vendor, be my warehouse. They tell me there's no unfinished invoice verification. So I want to come down here and hit the red button. And here's my order that I want to verify. Alright, as you can see, there's no items on here. I can look at uncounted items. So I have those 3 items. So what I want to do is look at my items here. I'm just going to go back, and I still don't have the barcode looking, so I'm just going to type in the UPC numbers. So here's my first item. It tells me there's 3 orders. Invoice 3, because when I received the invoice, I just told it to apply. So I was going to go through and do a verification. So on this particular item, I am going to say that I am over 1. Let's say that I got 4. Now, as you can see, I have one item here, so I'm going to do another one. This one says that I was invoiced 4. I'm going to say that I actually verified 3 on this. So I have the 2 items here that was on the invoice, and remember from the order, I actually had 3 items on the order, but 1 item was not invoiced. There were 0 receipts. So once I'm finished receiving or verifying my invoice, I'll come down to the big button at the bottom, and I'll do the send invoice report. So it's going to count down here at the bottom, and it's going to tell me once I send this back to corporate, I'll no longer be able to edit it. I can double check I was invoiced 4. I said I received 3. This one says I was invoiced 3 and received 4. I'm going to send that. So that's finished. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my retail here. If I go under verified invoices, as you can see, here's my invoice just done. It tells me there was a difference count of 2. I can actually view that. So it shows me these 2 were verified, and that I was short 1 on the Copenhagen, but over 1 on the red seal. So now when I go back into Warehouse, yes, dashboard, and then Misspick, I will refresh, and here's my invoice. Notice 14225 is the same as my invoice here. So in Warehouse, I'll view it. So it tells me basically the same thing, that the red seal, invoice 3, they verified they had 4. So there's going to be an adjustment of 1 on that one. And on the Copenhagen, I invoiced 4, but they only verified 3. So they were minus 1 on that one. So what I'll do is I'll go and I'll hit apply. It's going to ask me if I want to apply the worksheet, and it's going to create an adjustment invoice. Tell it yes. So my worksheet's been applied. And my Misspick no longer shows up under Misspick. I've already applied it. Now when I go into inventory, I go into invoice quarter. You can see that we have a new order here. This was the original one, 14225. But now since we were off and we had Misspick, it created an adjustment in 14226. So what it does is it puts those 2 items on there. It adds 1 to the red seal because so that was the difference on the worksheet. So the -1 on the Copenhagen. We're getting a credit for that one, then we're charging them for the red seal, which works out to be a difference of $3.70. Using the Misspick, it'll automatically create the invoice for us to give them the credit instead of us having to go in and enter each item that had a Misspick and creating a new order on our own. It just kind of automates the steps to where it makes it easier on you and quicker to get it done. All right, that pretty much covers Misspick. Again, this is a new module that will be added in the upcoming warehouse release when it comes out. And just as another reminder, webinars are the event. To get to those, we just go to the FTx website at goftx.com. Go to the FTx Lifeline link, and then scroll about halfway down the page to get to webinar. And once on the webinar page, if you go to the subscribe button, you'll get not only updated notifications of when webinars are coming out, but if there's any FTx news as far as updates or anything of that nature, you'll also receive those as well. But once on the page, we can also register for the upcoming webinars. We can view previous webinars if you need any refreshers on things that we've already covered. I hope that everybody learned something today and that you have a good weekend.